up, guys? So recently, me and Dimethyltryptamine had a pretty interesting LSD trip. So I want to tell you guys what happened. This happened 2 days ago. Tryptamine came over. We were hanging out, smoking a shit ton of weed. Went out, had the munchies, got some food, came back, and decided that we were going to journey down the rabbit hole. So we dropped 200 mics. We were hanging out in my apartment, and I realized all of my LSD trips begin this way. I always come up in my living room. So I turned to Tryptamine and I'm like, yo, do you want to go out for a walk and experience something? So he's like, yeah. So we go out, head to this park that's not too far down from my house. And we're walking down this huge lake, and we're really coming up. I'm listening to music, and my whole body's starting to fucking feel like a noodle. We start walking, and I see this building in the distance, and it looks like there's designs on it that are moving around. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, there's no way I'm tripping that hard already. So I turned to him, I'm like, yo, do you see that? And he's like, what? I'm like, that, right there. Do you see that moving around? And he's like, no, I think you're just tripping out. I was like, I swear to God, I'm not. I can't really. So we get closer to it, and sure enough, like, I'm like, look at it. And it's like moving around, and it goes to like this painting, like on this wall that it's like on, there's like this painting. It's a really old building, one of the oldest buildings in my city, and it looks like it's like melting off. And he's like, wait a sec, I do fucking see that. I was like, what is that? So we like walk up, and it's like apparently my city installed this like projection thing onto this old building, and it just projects this shit. So it's projecting all these like plants that were growing. It was so fucking weird, all these designs and shit. And we're like, whoa, dude. And we're like just sitting in this grass, and we're just completely blown away by this shit. It's all moving. We're like having this little light show basically in front of us, and we were just laughing at the fact that this is happening. I was like, how perfect is this? This is like an LSD trap. Like I'm waiting for like cops to be like, all right, we got him, and then like run out or something. But we're just sitting there, and then we're sitting there for about 15 minutes, and the thing just turns off. And we start laughing about it like, oh, they're probably like, go away, you fucking hippies. So we got up and left. We're walking down. Now, where we were going was the main avenue, which is basically Party City on the weekends. There's bars everywhere. There's people everywhere. So we decided to go down there and people watch. So we walk in. And once we hit where everyone's at, just the whole vibe changes. We're picking up on all these weird energies. So I was like, wow. So when we're walking, we see this dude who I've seen for years and years and years. He's this street artist who does these really cool, like, galactic spray paintings. So he just sits there and basically sells them and paints them in front of you. So I like, yo, Mike, check this out. So we're watching this dude paint, and I was completely blown away by this shit. At this point, I'm like almost to my peak, so I'm just sitting there like, wow, blown away by this guy, man. Really good artist. Picking up on all his like artistic vibes and shit. It was awesome. Mike was talking to this like older dude who was talking about like tripping in Vietnam and all this crazy shit. I'm just sitting there lost in this dude's painting, and these two fucking drunken bros come up and ruin everything. They're like, dude, oh, dude, those are fucking sick, bro. Look, yeah, dude, yeah, he's painting it right there, dude. He's like, whoa, dude, that's fucking awesome, man. And all this shit. And I'm just like, dude, come on. They're like stepping all over this dude's paintings and shit. It's fucked up. So the dude's like, how much you want for this, man? And then he's like, I ask for 25 a piece. Like, that's all I ask. And the dude's like, you know what? I only have 20. I'll give you 20 for this one. And he's like, honestly, dude, like I can only do 25. He's like, but that one is left over from the last time I was here, so I'll give you that one for 20. And once he lowered it down to 20, that dude pulled out another 20 and was like, you know what, I'll give you 40 for both of these right now. And the dude's like, come on, man, like, I'm asking for 25, and I'm lowering that one for 20 for you. He's like, all right, man, it's your loss, and, like, walks off and, like, knocks over this dude's cards, and it angered me so much. I was like, what a fucking asshole. So me and Mike helped fix up his stuff again, and the dude was like, man, I can't believe the nerve of that guy. I was like, just ignore him, man, like, don't worry, like, he's just a fucking idiot. So he finishes this dope-ass painting. And I felt bad for the guy, so I went out and I took out $40 and started chopping it up with him. This dude was a complete psychedelic OG. Mike mentioned, like, yeah, we're tripping on acid. He's like, oh, cool. And he starts, I took a lot of acid back in my day, and he was talking about how he followed the Grateful Dead and all this stuff, and telling me all of his trip stories, and was like preaching about psychedelics and like how we learned from them. It was really dope, dude. So I gave him $40. I was like, yo, I want to take that off your fucking hands. He's like, so grateful for it. As a matter of fact, here it is. This is the painting from that night. Fucking awesome. I don't know if you guys can see all the little detail, but yeah, it's fucking awesome. His name is Bruce. Dope dude. So yeah, we were all stoked with that little painting. Went home, came back, put on my light, dude. We were tripping out. It was so fucking hard. Just listening to a bunch of music, and we're just like talking, fucking having one of those conversations that you just need to have with someone, where you're able to connect with them so deeply, and just it helps you in so many ways. That's the kind of conversation we're having. Complete bro to bro. Is fucking awesome. But then we got this burst of energy again, so we decided, all right, go out for another walk. So we basically repeated the exact same route we went, but this time we were fucking frying so hard. We go to the lake, and again, the lake is, beautiful and lit up, and like, dude, it was like encrusted. It looked like the water was encrusted with diamonds. There were so many lights. It was just incredible. It was pretty early in the morning at this point, so the sky was incredible. It was like that mystical morning blue, not where it's too bright you can really see everything, but it wasn't completely night. I don't know how to explain. Just that like 3:15 in the morning kind of light. It was just amazing atmosphere. So at this point we were just like, okay, let's have a seat. So we sit down, and we're under this tree, and we're just sitting there listening to music, and I'm just looking at the stars, just having this beautiful fucking moment. And then this dude walks up in the distance, right? And he's like, who's from my phone? I'm like, what? And I'm like, what the fuck did that dude say? And he like comes up closer. My phone. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this dude is saying, dude. So then he walks up to us. He's like, hey guys, do you know where there's an outlet so I can charge my phone? And we're like, oh no, man. As a matter of fact, like, we're in a park, dude. Like, I don't think you're gonna find an outlet. So he's like, just starts chopping it up with us, and we're just sitting there like, who's this dude? He came off as a cool guy. So he just starts talking, and like, yeah, I'm from Phoenix, da 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 da, da da da, and just like making small talk. And he's like, hey, do you guys do shit? And we're like, yeah. So he's like, oh, that's what's up, da 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 da, and starts talking, and then he starts talking about the Illuminati, hip hop music, and the group Anonymous, and like all his like little theories regarding that and stuff like that. And he's getting all stoked about it. He's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, let's smoke. And we're like, all right, cool. He's like, do you guys got anything to have it in, or like, cause I only got like half a bowl, but like if you guys have anything, we can add it to it and have like a big bowl. And we're like, nah, we don't have anything. And he's like, it's all good. So we walk down, and he finds this electrical box with a fucking outlet in there. And he's like, oh yeah, it works. I was like, all right, sweet, like, let's smoke. And he's like, right here? I was like, yeah. And he says, well, it's kind of out in the open, don't you think? And I was like, well, I smoke here all the time. Like, no one ever comes up. I was like, no one's really here. And he's like, yeah, but it's kind of windy. Follow me. So we start following him, right? And he's just talking, and he's walking with us. And he turns under this bridge. He starts going under this bridge where it's really dark and secluded. So we're following him. And at this point, I'm like, oh, shit. Something's not right. So we're following him, and that's when all my thoughts my mind just start racing. All these thoughts start going through my head. What the fuck is going on? Why is this guy taking us here? Like, why is this dude being so sketched out for a bowl of weed? Because the way he was walking, he was like looking around and shit. I'm like, what is this guy looking for? And so my first thought was, fuck, we're getting robbed. He's going to turn around with a knife or a gun and be like, yo, give me everything you got. Or a bunch of dudes are going to come out from bushes and shit and beat the fuck out of us and rob us. So I look at Mike, and Mike's kind of picking up on these vibes. He's like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, should we go? And I'm like, and then so we kind of like start distancing away from this guy. and he's just like walking all sketchy. And we're kind of a little ways away, and he stops and like turns around and notices that we're kind of far. And he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, you guys want to smoke?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's all like, "I'm not gonna hurt you guys." And I was like, "Oh yeah, all right." So I start walking. I was like, "Sorry, man. This is just kind of weird for us. Like, this is a little much for a bowl of weed." And he's like, "What did you think we were smoking?" And he pulls out an oil burner. I'm like, "Oh, nice. You got some DMT?" No, it wasn't DMT. He pulls out not the DMT magic wand oil burner, but he pulls out the crystal methamphetamine stab your neighbor methamphetamine pipe. And we're like, shit. Well, Mike didn't really notice it at first. I was like, oh shit, bro. I thought you were saying you wanted to smoke some weed. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, we don't do that, bro. He's like, oh, okay, well, I'm a drug addict, da-da-da-da, and starts, like, telling us stuff. I felt bad for the guy, but I was like, yeah, we don't do that, dude. And he was like, all right, well, you guys can hang out here if you guys want. I understand if you want to leave. I was like, yeah, we're probably going to head out, but good luck. So we, like, start walking up that little hill we were walking up to get out of there. And we get out of there, dude, and we're like, what the fuck, man? And he's like, that was the weirdest shit that has ever happened to me in my entire life. I was like, yeah, I could safely say that too, man. So we start walking back. The whole little fucking walk back, we're like, that was fucking weird. We're just keep playing out that situation, like talking about what happened, dude. I was like, dude, I thought we were gonna die. Like, I literally thought we were about to get robbed. He was like, dude, I didn't even think of that. Like, I was just I don't know, dude. I just got all these weird vibes. Oh my god, it was so fucking scary. But so yeah, that was enough Tempe nightlife for us. We went back to my house, came and just chilled out again, just listened to music, tried to fucking forget what the fuck just happened. And yeah, that was our night. Mike left later on in the morning, and it definitely was the weirdest shit that ever happened. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry, last night I was trying to do a live stream, but P Fresh flaked out because he's a little girl, so can't blame him. But I'll try to do one tonight. Watch on my Instagram. I'll post there if we are doing it. Hopefully we do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our very weird LSD experience. Check out Bruce's artwork. If you live in Tempe, I don't really know where else to look at it. But Icarus 480 signing off. Peace, love, and smoke DMT.